How are you? Nice to see you. I'm Paula. Everybody else will get my name tag.
How are you? So it's my great pleasure as the Dean of this library, Peter McDonald, to welcome you to this special night. And the person we're honoring tonight has a secret about this very building that you're in. Did you know that in September we had more students through this library than ever in the history of the library, and that's 211,000 students in 1 month. And one reason that this library is honoring Geri is because for as long as I have been here and many years before, she has been a friend of this library in every sense of the word. And to that end, she is our honoree next Friday night at Top Dog. Yeah! Go Dogs! Luckily, you bought tickets for the cheap seats tonight because next week it's sold out because of there are no more seats. First time ever at Top Dog, it's sold out. Let's give Geri a round of applause. But Geri knows that this building transforms students' lives, and she has been our friend in this library for the entire time I've been here. And let me just share a story from about a month ago. I was having a bad day. I know you administrators amongst us have never had a bad day, but I was having a bad day. And my assistant pops her head in and says, "Somebody's here to see you." Well, when you're an administrator, that can be a good thing or a bad thing. So I'm going, oh dear, who's this? And this ray of sunshine walked through the door. And I hadn't seen Geri in months. And for all that you've been through, my dear, you walked into my office and you just brought me so much joy. You were just, yeah. You were upbeat, you looked radiant, gave me the biggest hug, and we just love you, truly. So we're going to honor Geri tonight, but I want to just recognize a few people. Paula Custodio, our Vice President for Advancement. And Provost Lynette Zelazny went to the program outside to honor Gandhi's birthday, so there's another little program. And the Honorable Armando Rodriguez, who I'm not sure I've met, but is there. Thank you for being here. And of course, I will introduce our President and First Lady shortly. Also, several members of our board. First and foremost, Geri, member of our board. Thank you for being here, Geri. You can take the minutes. Sherry Hara, who you met downstairs giving you your ticket, so she's a member of our board. Paul Pierce and his wonderful wife Patience are here, so they've been a wonderful. In here is our Farm to Fork exhibition. For many of you new to the library, we do put on world-class exhibitions. And this is a wonderful one celebrating all the ethnic communities that have made this valley great. And in particular, a number of people who have supported this, the Wolf Family Farming, Jack Wolf and his family, also the California Fresh Fruit Association, the San Joaquin Valley Wine Growers Association, and Spec Media. And for the sorts of exhibitions that we put on here, there's nowhere else in the entire valley that can do the sorts of educational programs and exhibitions that we do. And please enjoy it before you leave tonight. So it's my great pleasure to introduce a pal of mine who is doubtless well known to you. He's looking even more dapper than me tonight. And that would be Larry Balakian, with whom Geri is working on the library's spring program that he will tell you about, but we're going to have a fabulous exhibition here in the spring. And so, Larry, good to see you.
Tonight is the kickoff for the Geri Tahajian month, which is not really just the month of October. The kickoff is for her contributions to the library, to the university, and the overall whole valley area. This tribute really isn't just a month. It goes on until June of 2016. So we could really call it the year of Geri Tahajian. The current project that Geri and I are working on is for the library. It's the Christina Solari art project. I've worked with Geri on a number of projects for a number of years. Sometimes I think it's decades. Geri, is it years or decades? We go into decades. The various projects that I've worked on have all been great, but this one that Geri and I and a whole committee, and the committee is all here, is the Christina Solari exhibit, which will be here. She is born in Turkey in 1915, a very significant year, and she is the founding member of the modern art movement in Turkey. This will be her first time that she is showing her collection in Fresno, and we're very fortunate to have the collection because her family is Houston-based, and they have been here a number of times, and she has been influenced by a number of world-renowned artists, which we'll talk about later. Because tonight is about Geri. We want you to save the date. It starts February 5th, next year, 2016, and it runs into, that's how long we've been working together. And it runs until June of next year. Are there any committee members here that would like to add any words to our upcoming exhibit that we're having? We have a group that are going to Texas next week to work on this project. Marcy, should I add anything? Marcy? Okay, anybody? Joyce, do you have something to add? Okay, put it on your calendars. It's next year, February 5th. And Geri, I think the year, it's not really years, I think it's half a century we've been working on projects. Anything you want me to add? Anything else? Okay, a whole half a century. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. He's going to be a great committee chair, and it is going to be a fabulous exhibition. And we really welcome all of you back, because not only is Geri going to be here, I know, but it'll be a fabulous art exhibition you should all come to. It's my great pleasure now to introduce the president of this wonderful university, Dr. Joseph Castro, and he's here tonight with First Lady Mary Castro. So thank you both for being here.
Thank you, Peter. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Geri, you have a few friends, don't you? I love it. Oh, yeah. Well, Mary and I are just so honored to be here tonight with with all of you, and I know we have a lot of Fresno State alumni here as well, right? Jerry, can I ask for hands? How many Fresno State? Look at that! I love it. I love it. Well, I want to just say welcome to everyone on this beautiful Friday evening, and this is the second consecutive Friday that Mary and I have spent with Jerry and Geri, because we were in San Francisco a week ago honoring Judge Baxter and Jane Baxter, and we'll be together next Friday. And then I have a feeling the Friday after we're going to want to see each other as well. Well, it's just a great honor to join everyone in recognizing Geri as our top dog for the Henry Madden Library. Congratulations to you, Geri. It's such a wonderful thing for you and for the community and for Fresno State. And I learned a few things about you when I read up on your bio, and I wanted to mention a couple of things. I learned that Geri has been president of 16 different organizations. Talk about leadership. That's incredible, Geri. And I also learned that she was an extraordinary educator, but her original passion was to build. And in 1987, she transitioned to found a construction company. And you served as president of that company for 30 years. I learned that tonight. Thank you, Geri. That is incredible. And so I have a greater appreciation for everything that you've done here in our community and for Fresno State, and we're very grateful to you and to Geri for your many contributions to the community. And I congratulate you, and I look forward to joining you again next Friday for the big ceremony. Thank you so much.
So I committed a faux pas this evening. Wouldn't have been the first time in my life. So I met a guy named Bradley, and I said, "Bradley, hi, I'm the dean of the library, so how do you know Geri?" Oops. But now I realize there's a Bryce. And Bryce, how do you know Geri? And Geri, you know Geri, right? Well, it's great to see the whole family here. It's my great pleasure to now introduce California Supreme Court Justice Marvin Baxter, who will give a brief bio of Geri's life. So please come up and share your thoughts.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Peter, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's always a great privilege to return to this campus. It's always a great privilege to return to Fresno State and to see so many friends here. It's also a great privilege for me to share a condensed, and I want to emphasize the word condensed, version of Geraldine's record of public service that led to her selection as the 2015 Fresno State Alumni Association Outstanding Alumna representing the Madden Library. Blessed with warm and caring parents, Geri and her sister Janice had a very happy and productive childhood here in Fresno. And committed to helping children, Geri graduated from Fresno State in 1965 with a bachelor's degree in education and earned a teaching credential. Focused on developing young minds, Geri taught in the Fresno Unified School District until she married Gerald, who was attending USF Law School. The newlyweds lived in San Francisco for a few years, where Geri taught elementary school received an early childhood teaching credential from San Francisco State, became a teaching mentor, and served as a representative to the San Francisco School Board. In 1969, they left the city by the bay, returned to Fresno, where Gerald began his legal career, and were blessed with 3 sons. Bradley, an attorney; Brenton, who works for Hyatt Hotels; and Bryce, who has a computer business here in Fresno. And while raising their children, Geri was a dedicated school volunteer. She tutored students, served as PTA president, was a representative to the Fresno County Superintendent of Schools, and served on the Gifted and Talented Education Advisory Board. She was named Fresno Unified School District's Volunteer of the Year in 1985, a very well-deserved award. In 1987, Geri implemented a childhood dream, as referenced by President Castro. She became a licensed general contractor and co-founded Jerry Mel Construction Company and served as the president for 30 years. The company built more than 400 custom homes in Central California, and Geri was one of the first women in Fresno County to enter this male-dominated field, and as such, she was a trailblazer for the women who followed in her footsteps. Geri's extensive community activities include service with the Junior League, Larks, and Forum. She served as president, I think you're right, it was 16 organizations, including Lawyers Auxiliary, CPA Auxiliary, USF Auxiliary, Alpha Xi Delta Alumni, the Honor Guild, Daughters of Arton, and the Dorcas Guild, to name just a few. She also served on the University Lecture Series Board from 1991 to 2001, and the Friends of the Madden Library Board since 2003. She is a strong advocate for the library, and as a former student of Dr. Arnie Nixon, she is particularly dedicated to supporting the Arnie Nixon Center for the Study of Children's Literature. And one thing we can all agree on is that Geri lights up a room with that infectious smile and warm personality. She has more friends than Carter has bills. And your turnout this evening is evidence of that. So thank you, Geri, for your community service and for your friendship, and congratulations on being a top dog.
Thank you, Justice Baxter. That was wonderful. You're still sitting? Yeah, I know. She's next. It doesn't end here, Geri, I'm afraid. So it's my great pleasure now to introduce someone who's going to give a heartfelt tribute to Geri. Her dear friend, Geri Tahajian. Please, come on up.
Thank you. Well, I am probably one of Geri's oldest friends because Geri and I met in kindergarten. When we were finger painting in kindergarten, not that long ago, I never thought I would have the privilege and the opportunity to tell her how much I love her and what a joy and a pleasure it has been to have her in my life. If I could have chosen a sister, it would have been Geri. We were in kindergarten together, and then Geri's parents moved away, so we didn't connect until later. And about middle school, Jerry's sister, it's a very complicated story, but every Armenian here will understand. Jerry's sister was married to my cousin's wife's sister. We're all related. And we were all at a Thanksgiving or Christmas. And we were the only two young girls there. We were single, and we met and started a wonderful friendship. At that point, we were in middle school. Neither one of us could drive, but we managed to spend a lot of time together. Eventually, Geri was lucky enough to be able to have her father's T-Bird. It was very cute. I think it was pink. Was it salmon? And I didn't have a car, so Geri was our wheels. For the people that lived in Fresno, I'm sure they saw us many times dragging the mane. We could have been sighted on Belmont even, at Reed&Bell, maybe at Mars, having hamburgers and French fries. Early on, Geri's parents adopted me. Since her older sister was married, they took me everywhere. They called me their third daughter, and I was very proud to be their third daughter. We were always in trouble. We were not allowed to sit next to each other. When we went places, we caused a lot of commotion, and everybody just, they made us sit in different corners. With the T-Bird, we were so excited on Sunday evening. Her parents were really happy that we would go to church together. But what we did is we went to church, we took the top off of the T-Bird, we put it on my front porch, and then we went to church, and then we would drag the mane. So we had lots of fun. Her parents were very strict with Geri. I mean, that's why she's got such wonderful standards. But it was a little hard at the time because when you went out with Geri, about every hour she had to call her mother, tell her where she was, and ask if we could stay somewhere longer. And usually her mother said yes. So that was very special. But I've been told to condense also. And I just want to say that Geri's been an inspiration to me. She's always been there for me when I needed her. And it's hard to explain, really. But I have a little list of loves about Geri. And I do want to share this with you because I felt it was very special and is almost as special as she is. It says, Geri loves her T-Bird. Geri loves, I forgot. The first thing I was going to ask was for your telephone. I wanted to make sure it was turned off. Because everywhere Geri goes, she answers her phone or text, no matter where she is. I lost my train of thought. Because Geri asked to make sure it was turned off. But that's one of the things. Geri likes to talk and text on the phone, no matter what time of the day it is. Geri loves to eat and take leftovers home. She is very social, as you can all know, and that's why she has so many friends. She loves to help everybody and anybody. Geri's always available to do anything for anybody. She loves to meet all kinds of new people. She's very interested in people. She loves Bradley, Brenton, and Bryce very much. She loves Gerald. What I was also supposed to say, she got married, and she couldn't have picked somebody with a different name. It was so hard for us. Geri and Geri. It was he and she, Geri. Geri likes to have her pictures taken. As you could see, she always wants her picture taken with everybody. She loves to laugh. She loves to go to coffee, sometimes 2 and 3 times a day. She always has a smile on her face and is very, very positive, no matter what she has to deal with. That makes her extremely special. So now, I really would like everybody to please stand. I want you to stand. I would like to welcome, and I want to introduce my very special, incredible best friend, Geri Tahajian, because Geri loves all of you.
goodness. Welcome to everybody. Oh my goodness, I didn't see all these people at once. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me okay? Is this okay? Welcome, everyone. Dr. Castro and First Lady Mary, Dean Peter McDonald, California Supreme Court Justice Marvin Baxter and his wife Jane, Paula Castadio, Vice President of the University Advancement, and Karen and Larry, thank you. I must say, I can't believe this. I didn't really turn around to see everybody earlier. I just saw people coming out of the elevator. I had to have my picture taken with everybody. If you haven't been in a picture with me, please later stay because I want to remember all of you. Come see the photographer later with me. Well, the Dean McDonald and Marcy Morrison and the library put me up for this award. And first I was a little embarrassed, and then they said, "You got it." And I go, "Oh my goodness, I didn't think I would get it." And after I found out I had the award, can you hear me? Is this coming through or not? No? Can we put it lower? Or should I just pull it out? Okay, on my chin. Can you, is that better? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So when I found out I had the award, Marcy later said to me, "We'd like to give you a reception." And I said, "Oh no, I don't want any more attention." So I turned her down, and she kept after me and said, "We really would like to do this." And I kept saying no. And then she told me, Vice President Paula Castadio, it was her idea. So because Paula is a friend of mine and I love her dearly, I gave in. So here I am, and I'm so happy. I'm really happy now because I just love all of you. But I bet you'd like to know a little bit about you heard already about my background, but I'm going to tell you a little bit more. I was born in Fresno, went to Bullard High School, and then I was going to go to USC. So my Armenian mother, and all the Armenian ladies know what that is. They don't like their children to leave. So my mother said, "Stay here for 2 years, go to Fresno State, and then go to USC." So I thought, okay. And being the obedient daughter in those days, you did what your mother said. So I said, I'll do that. So I started Fresno State, joined a sorority, and I loved Fresno State so much, and I'd made so many friends, you couldn't have pulled me out of this school. I can't say enough about Fresno State. Later, I was in church choir, and who comes in but Geri Tahajian? And so we sang choir together. And then later, when I started Fresno State, there he was, all running around, people all over him. And I thought, why is there everybody around him? Because he was a student body president. And then he would pass me, just kind of say hi and smile. Later, he was going to graduate school, and he came back, and he saw me at church again, and he asked me out. Well, guess where he brought me? To a Fresno State basketball game. Because I love Fresno State. I then married Geri, and one of the reasons I married him because it's a great name. So we have always been known as Geri and Geri, or there's the two Geris, so we get teased about that all the time. So when he went back to law school in San Francisco, I taught school there. And I guess you already know I became a mentor teacher and got another degree. But everyone asks me this question constantly. Why did you become a contractor? And what would make you do that? And I want you to know, when I was a little girl, I played Monopoly every day, almost every day. And I loved owning those properties and those buildings. I'm not kidding you. And all those hotels. That was my favorite game. So when I turned 16, I would drive around in the little T-Bird my father made me drive. And I'd look at property and I'd go, oh, I want to build on these places. And I would approach my father, who had several pieces of property, and I said, Dad, let's build on these properties. And he looked at me, gave me that funny look like I was only 16, and what does she know? And she's a woman? Oh. So what he did was he sold the properties to his friends, and they built the buildings. So he really didn't know how serious I was. So what happened was that was my first love, to always build. After we moved back to Fresno from San Francisco, we had our 3 boys, and then I tutored children for reading. One day, my husband did a few projects, and then he decided not to continue. So he said to me, my foreman's going to become available. You can build. He knew I wanted to build. He said, why don't you join him and start building houses? And I thought, oh, I got so excited. So I approached the foreman, whose name was Mel. And Mel, would you stand up? This is my partner. And I said to Mel, I'm going to start building houses. Do you want to join me? And I think he gave me that same look my father gave me. Is she kidding? But I was serious, and he knew I was serious. So 2 weeks later, he came back, and he said, let's do it. So we built, our houses have large closets and beautiful kitchens, the woman's touch. And as it said, we've built more than 400 high-end custom homes in Fresno, and it's been lots of fun. The funny thing is, when I was in the office, people would call and ask for Geri.
Yeah.
And I would say, I'm Geri. And they go, no, the male Geri, the contractor. I must have gotten that call every day. Also, when we were in meeting with people, one time, I'll never forget, one time there was a group of men, and we're all sitting around, and I didn't know them before. And we're waiting, and one man said, well, let's start. And the head of the group said, well, we're waiting for Geri. So I jumped up and I said, I'm Geri, and they gave me that same look my father gave me and everybody else gives me. And this happened all the time, constantly. Because as you know, this is a man's world, being a contractor. I was truly in a man's world and in a man's occupation. At that time, I was the only woman around, and people were just shocked. But we've built homes in Fresno, Clovis, Visalia, Merced, Madera, Las Banas, Kerman, and in the mountains. I'm a true believer in follow your dreams. I've always taught my children and my students and my friends to try to follow your dreams. I did, and I was lucky to do that. I would rather be in Home Depot than Macy's. And several people are here. We were in a fundraiser about 3 weeks ago, and it was a silent auction. And most of the women there were bidding on cosmetics, massages, perfume, bath items, and things like that normal women do. Well, I bid on and won a gas card, 2 buffer brushes for my car, and an electric drill. I love those things. I still drive around and get excited over buildings and the buildings that we've built. And this is a beautiful building right here. I hope to encourage all of you, if you haven't had a tour of this library, come back, call myself or the dean or Marcy Morrison, and they'll give you a tour. It's just a magnificent, magnificent library. As you saw how beautiful it was, and it has so many features. I would like to introduce my sons, Bradley, you have to stand, and Bryce. I grow them big. And my husband, Geri. And I'd like to thank Dr. Castro, Dean Peter McDonald, Supreme Court Justice Marvin Baxter, my childhood friend Karen, Larry Balakian for all the nice words that were said. A special thank you again for nominating me for the Top Dog. The gala will be next Friday, which has been sold out a month earlier, and I know a lot of you people here wanted to go and you couldn't even get in because it's been very popular this year. The award will be given next Friday, and that's where I'll see Dr. Castro again. I've been a little bit under the weather this last year and truly appreciate all my dear friends, relatives, more than ever. And you've been wonderful to me. I appreciate all of you coming tonight, friends, relatives, and friends of the Madden Library. Okay, now, since I was a kindergarten first grade teacher, I have to do something with all of you. This is how I end all my little talks. Would everybody just turn to the left and the right and smile? Now, look forward and smile. You are beautiful. I want you always to smile. My mother always would say to me, when you smile, it makes your whole body smile. And pass it on to others. Remember to follow your dreams, even if it's just to go to the coast and put your feet in the sand. Follow your dreams. Always smile, and above all, always remember to be kind. I guess you know by now I love Fresno State. I love this library, and I love all of you for coming. Thank you.